So creating videos is arguably one of my favorite things to do on the planet. But these last few videos, I don't feel like I've been challenging myself creatively enough. It feels very much like I'm kind of just going through the motions. And I'm a firm believer that comfort is the killer of growth. So with this song that I'm gonna make today, I kind of want to step a little out of my comfort zone. And I'm gonna make a song today using only Logic plugins. I know it sucks, no easy drummer. I just got Addictive Drums too, and I've been absolutely loving it. So it breaks my heart to not include it in a video. And the biggest heartbreak of all, no magic switch. If you've been following my channel long enough, you know my career on this channel is probably built on that plugin. Coffee's gone, that's a bummer. So I thought this challenge would also be a good way to promote my preset pack that I just released earlier this month. This is a preset pack specifically for Logic Pro, so if you want to pick that up, it's a perfect starter pack for indie music. That'll be in the description. So let's push ourselves a little bit. All right, so yesterday morning, this was before my wife got up. I had a song idea, so I had to be like really quiet, but essentially like a very fast indie pop, again, kind of similar to like a Dayglow, maybe kind of Two-Door Cinema Club as well. But here is the voice memo demo.
Okay, so something really fast with the drum beat, like. Some kind of like guitar part.
Sorry for your ears, but this is not a professional capture in the moment. Sorry about that. Even as I finished the voice memo on that, I was like, it feels like it still needs to be faster than that. So we're gonna make this like pretty fast. All right, so I'm gonna start with my classic indie kit, which again is in that pack that I mentioned. And let's find a pretty quick tempo. Let's try 170. That might have been too rough. Let me try that again. I think I can capture that better. Yeah, I think I like that better. So I think something I'm gonna do real quick, and again, I don't wanna like mix this or get too into it, but I wanna take out some of that room noise because this is a little too roomy and not tight enough for me. Now I'm just going to get kind of a general chord structure. Big arrangement tip for those who ever have questions for it, and especially for those who get stuck in 4-bar loops. The way to stop making 4-bar loops is to build horizontal and not vertical. Meaning that I can put a couple layers here to understand the vibe and the vision that I'm going for with the song. But if you don't move forward with it, then it will just continue to get bigger and bigger, and you'll have this giant 8-bar loop, and nobody wants to get stuck in that. We want to make songs. We don't just want to make loops. So in my head, I'm hearing like a bass sound with a retro synth. And I definitely want it to be chorusy. Maybe an octave on it. So in that beginning part, I think I want to do those like little dun, 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 guitars, but I'm just going to go ahead and layer the chord progression anyway. Actually, yeah, let's just do that for an intro. And I think a common pitfall in the songs that I make too, I want to do like this intro and then basically a chorus with no words. I'm just going to go right into the verse. I don't think I do that enough with the music that I make. And then now we'll do the chord progression. All right, and this should repeat. So I have an idea for the second part, and these are all ideas that are just coming at a time. So I'm trying to like just hurry up and capture them. What if we did like a 4 on the floor on the second half, and it's kind of like a pre-chorus. So let's just see what it sounds like. And then it might be a little too cliche. This is not the sound of it. I'm just getting this idea out. It'll make sense once the chorus comes back in. I don't think I'm actually like hearing it that open, but I definitely want it to feel bigger. Once we get into like the actual specific drum production, you'll see what I mean. And I think we're just going to stick to the same chord progression the whole time. That's what I'm hearing. Oops. Uh-oh, I was off. Maybe do like some kind of post-chorus, just very, very short thing. And then add the verse again. And then what can we do differently here? What if we just like half-timed it just for like a couple measures and then brought it back up to full time? And that's what we'll do. And then coming into that, we'll do... Oh no, yeah, let's do something just completely different. And then through here, we'll have like a fun guitar solo. So I actually just changed this up a little and made this solo part a little shorter than anticipated. Like it basically ends a measure early than it should. And those are kind of the little things about production that excite me. When you're able to do something kind of unexpected in a tasteful way. And it may not work out. Maybe it's not exciting. Maybe it feels weird, but we'll find out. And then in typical indie pop fashion, let's just completely drop out. Yeah, let's just end it there. It's kind of a weird spot to end a song. Like there's not really much of a resolution because in my mind, this is kind of just vocals right here. Whatever that vocal take is, that's what's going to exist right there. So that's pretty much our arrangement of the song. Now, this is personally just the way that I choose to songwrite. I like having an arrangement because it's kind of like a pre-existing idea that I just have to write to. Some people do it backwards. I do it this way. Doesn't matter. It's whatever your process is. But usually when it comes time to writing the song, I just grab an acoustic guitar and figure it out that way. All right, so let's go ahead and write. I did come up with some lyrics. Late last night, I woke up and I was like, oh, that's what the song should do or what the song should say. And the lyric ideas that I had, the lyrics are very, very simple. Like, I don't think that I'm wanting anything that's like super deep or super like, philosophical. So kind of just something general most people can relate to. Playing this back, I just realized I'm playing the totally wrong chords. Wow, okay, so we need to change these chords real quick. Okay, so not too big of a change. We're good. But I do want to focus on writing this song. Okay, so I think I have my pre-chorus. It might be corny, I don't know. If it is, that's okay. And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all of my existence. Oh, shit. And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. Running. And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. Running and running and running out of time. And it's all gonna be just fine. There's definitely going to be reworking, but let's just start with that. Okay, I think I figured out the chorus too. When I can't control my breath and I'm unsure of my steps and I'm feeling pressure in my chest, then I see my friends pass me by, getting degrees while I'm getting high. And I'm sure everything is gonna be just fine. So it's like a contradiction because the pre-chorus was like, oh, all these crazy things are going to happen. It's going to be all fine. But the chorus is like, well, actually, this is what's going on. Am I really sure it's going to be fine? I don't think, again, I still don't think it's like necessarily deep songwriting, but I like it. We're going for catchy. We're going for just a fun, enjoyable song that is about existentialism. All right, now that I think the song is written, I am going to go fix a second cup of coffee. I've been drinking decaf now because I'm an extremely anxious person. and I switched to decaf, and that has brought my anxiety level down to like hardly at all these days. It's incredible. Try it out. It might help a lot. If there's any baristas in the comments, I don't want to hear anything about how I'm making coffee wrong. That's why I pay you guys to make much better coffee than I can. Fun fact, as I'm recording this, today is my wife and I's anniversary. We've been together for about 7 years now, and we've been married for 2 years. But she is a big reason why I do what I do. And it is crazy to have someone who is so supportive of everything that I'm doing. What's going on here? What just happened? What the heck? It's like there was a bunch stuck on the top. I must have overpacked it and it got stuck. Wow, way to just ruin a perfectly sweet moment talking about your wife and her impact. But she has been through so many of my projects and career changes and has been nothing but the most supportive partner that anybody could ever ask for. I am so extremely lucky. Dude, I'm making such a mess. What happened? All that to say, I feel incredibly grateful that my wife, Micah, is the reason that I feel comfortable to pursue the things that I dream about pursuing. And I feel like I finally figured it out, what I want to do and what I'm meant to be in life. And without hesitation, she has always been both my #1 fan and my harshest critic. Guys, what if I told you my wife doesn't like my music? All right, so now we can actually make it come. So I think getting back into the song once I'm done with this, I'm just gonna start building out the production kind of piece by piece. I know what I want to do. Like I said, there's a lot of fast moving elements that I wanna just be, like, I just want it to be an interesting song if I can accomplish anything. An amount of almond milk too. All right, so I got my coffee. Let's get back to the song. All right, so getting back into it, I think I'm gonna start with guitar. Normally my next step would be bass because that's the, foundation alongside the drums. But I think I'm gonna stick to that synth bass. There will most likely be a couple adjustments and I'm definitely gonna layer it a little more, but I'm hearing like a lot of guitar movement in the song. So I'd rather focus on that first because it's a little more important than the bass will be. All right, so for my guitar sound, I'm gonna use this snappy clean preset. Again, it comes with the pack that I mentioned, except I'm gonna take out a bunch of this reverb, just a little too much for my taste. And let's just see what happens. I don't think I like that. Let's just do one layer for now of the main guitar part, and then maybe we'll think of some ideas for it. Ooh, this is a harder puzzle to crack than I thought. Let's just play it open. All right, I want to do one more channel of that, except flip it to the neck pickup. There's so many differences in the playing, and I'm really, really okay with that. I'm not trying to do like a perfect replication of each side. I think that they sound really cool when there's a difference there. I want it to kind of like bounce back and forth essentially. Now let's try that other guitar I wanted to try earlier. Sorry, I'm getting hot. What happens if we do a harmony with that? That's kind of tricky to play, not gonna lie. Why is that so hard? Okay, so now I'm gonna basically do that, but in the chorus and make it a little more distorted and a little more wider. And I'm gonna use this patch I put together called Sweet Spot. So let's see what that sounds like. It'd sound better if I played the right chords. I need a little more wash now. So let's bring in the other guitar and just see if that kind of fills it in to where it doesn't feel choppy. I think those sound good. I like the sort of sloppiness to them, but of course the sloppiness has to make sense. If it just sounds sloppy, then yeah, we need to redo it. But if it kind of works, and if everything feels like people in a room jumping around, I give it permission to feel a little more sloppy. I'm gonna try out this preset now. I'm just gonna lay some chords, and we're just gonna fill the space. I think I'm gonna add another rhythm guitar, but make it kind of a little melodic. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. All right, I'm gonna add some more kind of foundational guitars. There's a lot of bass missing, obviously, because I haven't recorded a bass, but I wanna add just these nasty big fuzz patches on the left and right. These are probably gonna sound horrible. And when it comes time to processing them and mixing, I think I'm gonna make it a little more like it's a synth layer and treat it more like a synth than it is a guitar. All right, so now I gotta figure out a solo. I think I wanna use this fuzz sound again. It's so obnoxious. You guys don't know how bad I want to put Magic Switch on this. I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what to do for this solo. Like, everything tells me to shred, but this is not like a shreddy song. Let's just take it piece by piece at a time. We're getting closer. We're getting farther. I'm good with that. It's pretty simple. We don't need to do anything like super crazy. All right, so now I'm gonna focus on, I think, drum production and really getting a concrete drum sound. I like how these sound, but I think it's missing just a little more dynamics, a little more texture, and some layers as well. And the first thing that I'm hearing that I want to change is I want a little slap back tape delay on the snare. I don't want it to be like super overpowering. Okay, I'm okay with that. I want to add another drum kit, mainly to double up the toms. I think would be really cool. Like if I just basically duplicated what this is doing, but had all the tom fills in there and really like got this big roomy sound. I think that could sound pretty cool. All right, here's a crazy thing we can do. We can just double up what this is doing. Cause like a really cool production trick is to have one drum kit just doing the same thing it was. For example, like this moves to the ride. It sounds a little too big. It kind of sounds like we're a garage band doing it. And I want to have like a produced garage band sound. This secondary kit, the Sunset kit, I'm going to compress the absolute crap out of it. And it is going to be a background filler kit. And I'm going to add some of the QRS on it just to give it a little more space. And now we're just going to blend it in with this other one. Yeah, now that sounds pretty freaking big. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and add a tambourine and a shaker. Again, just to give it more movement, more ambiance. Because one thing I am not a big fan of for Logic, and again, I love Logic sounds, love what they can do with them. I don't know what it is, but they're hi-hats. Like, I haven't heard a good Logic hi-hat. So let's add a tambourine and a shaker now, because I kind of want to mask some of the hi-hat sounds. All right, let's add the shaker now. All right, I want some like weird 80s elements in there now. And I might find it in the Lindrum. Maybe the Lindrum tuned down. And I want to just add a bunch of weird 80s stuff to it, so. Oh, something got wrong. I think I accidentally moved like everything. Let's just solo these two out so I can really hear what's going on. These are so 80s. All right, I want to develop this bass a little bit and just layer something a little deeper under it. I just had the recording pause. I don't know how much I recorded and how much I didn't, but I added this synth and now I'm just adding a chorus on it. I get in a really bad habit because when I record these, I'm doing everything through OBS. So it's a streaming software. And whenever I find that I'm doing something that isn't really interesting, because I want to save room for editing, and I want to capture as many magic moments as I can. But sometimes I just got to turn off the recording for a second. So sometimes I miss magic. I think that sounds pretty good. All right, I think I want to add this Flutter Bee synth to kind of accent the guitars. And let's do the same harmony thing with this on one side and the other. I'm gonna add this other one called Obsolete Toy. Wonder what that would sound like on this. Let's just put that like a really high layer above everything. I think that sounds pretty darn good. There's just one little thing that I want to try. I want to try in a really distorted, arpeggiated bass just for the choruses. So it'll probably be too much. There's definitely a lot of muddiness that I have to mix out of this, but that's okay. It's not a lot that we have to take care of, but let's just see what we end up with. That is actually perfect. I messed it up a little, but that's exactly what it needed. It doesn't feel as muddy now. It has a very sharp, pulsing sense of rhythm that's coming through. I like that a lot. That was cool. All right, so I think all that's left to do is vocals. And I'm actually really surprised that I'm finishing a track all in one sitting. Like I started on it this morning. It's about to turn 11. So I think that we can just finish it. There's no like cool points for how quickly you can finish a song. Something I feel like a lot of musicians feel the pressure of is finishing songs quickly. Well, yeah, that's important because you want to, finish and chase the idea then and there. It's important to remember that done is better than quick. It's better than a demo. It's better than anything. Done will forever be better than perfect. But no, I feel good. I feel like I have a really good creative flow, and having the challenge of Buster was under that desk the whole time. Hey, bub. Having the challenge of, just being kind of limited to my DAW, being limited to stock Logic plugins. It's a fun, refreshing challenge. So when you are feeling kind of creatively down, I guess, challenge yourself. Do something that you wouldn't normally do. Because yeah, I don't really normally use stock Logic plugins. I mean, I use a fair amount of stock Logic plugins, but I definitely have my go-tos. Like I'm always grabbing Easy Drummer or Addictive Drums or the magic switch that we keep talking about. And when you kind of go back to just what your DAW has, it's this really cool element of discovery to where you realize, oh, my DAW actually has everything that I could ever possibly need, because most DAWs do. But that is besides the point. Let's cut some vocals. I don't picture a lot of vocals on this song. I just picture vocals that matter. All right, I switched up the vocals to these golden vocals. I think they might feel a little better, especially with just a little slapback on them.
Every day feels the same. I'm stuck living in the past because time moves too fast. And I'm holding on to this moment. And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That's just fine. And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That when I can't control my breath and I'm unsure of my steps and I'm feeling pressure in my chest. Then I see my friends pass by, getting degrees while I'm getting high. Am I sure everything's gonna be just fine this time?
This is reminding me a little of Green Day, not with like all the synths and everything, but just the attitude, the energy, kind of the way I'm singing it too.
When I can't control my breath and I'm unsure of my steps and I'm feeling pressure in my chest.
I think I can do this pre-chorus vocal a little better now that my voice is a little more warmed up.
And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That's gone.
I don't remember what I said. I changed the lyric.
And I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That's just fine. When I can't control my breath and I'm unsure of my steps and I'm feeling pressure in my chest. Oh,
that was actually kind of cool. Okay, I think I'm done with the song. I'm gonna go ahead and take another listen, then I'm gonna mix and master it. Again, using all of Logic's stock plugins. If you want to see a mix breakdown of this song and all of the other songs that I make in these videos, in a couple days, this will be available on my members only channel. So if you feel like joining, it's right next to the subscribe button. It'd be good to have you. It'd be good to have your support. But yeah, let's get to mixing. All right, so it is a little past, you wanna come up? I don't have a video to film or anything. Yeah, sure. We can do this. All right, so it's just a little bit past 12. I just finished the song, at least I feel like I finished the song. So let's go ahead and take a listen to it.
every day feels the same. Stuck living in the Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That's just fine. When I can't control my breath, and I'm unsure of my steps, and I'm feeling pressure in my chest. Then I see my friends pass by, getting degrees while I'm getting high. And I'm sure everything's gonna be just fine this time. I try to grow, but I never know if what I'm doing's right. It keeps me up at night, and I'm holding on to this moment just before the moment's gone. Try to fit all my existential problems in a song. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running out of time. That's just fine. When I can't control my breath, and I'm unsure of my steps, and I'm feeling pressure in my chest. Then I see my friends pass by, getting degrees while I'm getting high. And I'm sure everything's gonna be just fine this time. When I can't control my breath, and I'm unsure of my steps, and I'm feeling pressure in my chest. Then I see my friends pass by, getting degrees while I'm getting high. And I'm sure everything's gonna be just fine this time.
So I'm not super crazy about the song. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad song necessarily. I just feel like I was just kind of getting something out of my system, and I had fun, and it sounds like I had fun. And to me, that's what matters much more than whether or not a song is subjectively good or not good. Again, that's part of the whole thing of the channel, is to not take creating as a painful process. To look at creating as enjoying the process much more than enjoying the result. And I feel like this song is like the epitome of that idea, because yeah, it's not a good song. Come on, let's be honest, guys. It's not that good of a song. And I'm so okay with that, because I had such a good time getting it done. It was fun. It was a really fun song to make. But I hope it was a fun video for you guys to watch. Again, Indie Starter Pack, get it in the comments. I also just launched a new production bootcamp. This is like a really serious mentorship program to help shape the way that people create, help break bad habits that keep you from creating. And it's a very hands-on, one-on-one mentorship program. But if you guys don't know, I work for a production company. We make music for Nike, Google, Adidas, like all the bigger brands and the cooler movie feel campaigns, not like auto attorney commercials. And we're actually bundling the program. So if you want to learn production, but also want to learn how to break into this industry and make music, honestly, like this for brands, we do have a bundle offer as well, but you do have to fill out an application first, because we're only accepting a small amount of applicants, because again, this is very hands-on, but that will be in the description as well. But I just wanted to thank you guys one more time so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.